Okay, today I'm going to replicate or try to replicate this pour that I did yesterday with these beautiful colours. I just left this one as a pour and swipe. I didn't do any balloon kissing or anything, but the colours really turned out nicely for what I wanted, and it's drying just gorgeous, really beautiful. So I've had lots of comments about this, so I thought I'd do one on a bigger, just a slightly bigger canvas. This was a 25 by 20 little canvas, and I'm going to do the next one on a 60 by 30 canvas. So again, I've put my masking tape along the back, so keep the back of it nice and clean, and I've put my giant push pins on it to keep it up. So I've got the same, these gloves look too big actually. I'll change one of them to, I pinched those from my husband from his workshop because he got a nice big box of them, but not realising of course that he has the extra large for extra large hands. So I'm going, anyway, I'll get going. I'm going to do the same colours because I've got the same colours mixed up so that I used yesterday. So this pour I will be doing eventually on a 150 centimetre by 50 canvas as a commission, so I'm just testing colours. But I did this large pour, I think this was 120 by 40 or 50 it looks like, but this turned out absolutely gorgeous. It's cured now, so my next job today will be to put a gloss coating on this one, and it will just lift all of those colours, all of those paints out of there, jump out. It'll look beautiful. So that was a nice big one. So okay, we're going to start on this 60 by 30 and go the next size up. So anybody, just readjust. Yes, I know there's lots of people complaining about my camera skills or my camera, but I'm trying to do these videos on an iPad. I don't have proper camera equipment, and if I was being paid for them, I suppose then that's what you invest your money in, is your equipment, but I'm not, so I just have to be happy with what I've got. I'm sorry. Okay, so today is my pouring medium with Elmer's glue. This will be put on in the comments on the YouTube channel, so let you know exactly what I do. So that's that, and again I'll be using the global impasto paints. I have done a custom colour, which was the I always forget the name of it. I wanted to make an avocado colour because that's the colour I've got asked for. So the yellow oxide, and then added blue. There's a blob of blue, and that's what sent it this lovely avocado colour. So whereas yesterday I did the swipe from the centre out, I'm going to try it from doing the top down for this particular one. If I do a bigger canvas, I will actually swipe from the middle out, because then your swipe colour hasn't got so far to travel. So I will start, I will probably do my swipe colour in the burnt umber. So first of all, I'll lay down this lovely avocado colour, which I was really pleased with mixing this paint up myself, custom making your colours. Just write down what you do and it should turn out fine. I'll use the rest of that up. Okay, so as you know, when I make up my paints for a paint day, I always make up my paints at minimum the day before. I have tried several times to use the paints on the same day that I make them up, and I never get as nice results as I do by leaving the paints. So that's just a tip if anybody take that on board. I've just learned by that. Now this is what's called, it is called actually palm green, but what I did to make it up was use the green light with a little blob of blue, then just added the blue until it come a colour that I wanted it to be. So again, that's custom colour, but these particular paints are global impasto paints. So if you're wanting to pour on a budget, I have done lots of videos that have got the cheaper glues and paints from discount shops, so those will definitely help people that want to keep their paint pouring endeavours to a bit of a budget. And providing if they're ones you really like and you feel you would sell them, then as long as you cover them in a coating, give them a gloss coating or a matte coating in something that's archival, then it's going to last a long time. So okay, that was just white. So we've used the avocado, the other green, white, and now this is just a colour by Global called Flesh Tint. I normally like to dull this flesh tint down a bit with a bit of white because it can come up quite orangey. Okay, so again, doing this particular method, it'll give me different results in what appears at the end. So this is the red, but it actually looks really bright like a magenta. This is Global, and it's the cool red. I know that somebody said in America you don't have what's called cool red, but I think that the cool red, if anybody can correct me, is just a base, the basic red. So, okay, you've loaded it up, and now you're just gently tilting. Part of the therapy is just gently tilting your paint. No hurry, so take it slow around the canvas. Don't run it off straight away. Just keep recentering it and making sure all of your canvas is covered. Again, don't worry about those very corners if they're not covered, because you can just dab some of the paint that comes off your canvas with the corner edges. So don't stress and lose all of your paint through trying to keep your edges covered. Just try to recenter your paint again so it's not all at one end. Now we'll tilt off the other way. Okay. Now, some people have told me they can't hear very well, but others have said they can hear perfectly fine when I'm talking. I'm not sure if it's your devices, because I am a deaf person, and when I play it back on my iPad, I can certainly hear it, and especially when I turn the iPad up to the highest volume. So I'm not sure what's going on with some people's devices that they can't hear me, because other people and myself can hear the video perfectly fine. But like myself, you might not want to admit that you're going a little bit deaf, like I didn't when I lost my hearing in my 20s. Didn't want to believe it, but I would go and have your ears tested just to be sure. It's not being nasty, it's just to be sure. To answer any question, when I did make this paint up, which I've put my method and my ingredients will be in the comments on my YouTube channel, I did and always do now just add at least the 2 to 4 drops of the Helmar Australian made silicone, $6. Even in America you can get this over the internet, and it's a Helmar Australian brand. You can get it on eBay and it lasts ages because you only use, most is 2 to 4 drops in per cup, and of late I've been just adding that to every single cup. Sometimes I might just forget, but people ask me, do you add it to every cup? I'm just doing a thin line on the top. I don't want the brown to dominate, so that's the thin line. Get my trusty paint swiper, which is the plastic file divider. Say it every time, best tool for doing swipes, and then you can just wash it off. Oh, nearly went. Okay, I'll start from this end. You just let your swipe tool into the paint just about a centimetre, only just laying it on the top, no pressure. Draw it slowly towards you. Okay, that's that. So I don't like doing my swipes with a big thick, just leaving the colour at the top without any colour underneath it. I personally don't like it. So I like to add the colour underneath my swipe colour, so that'll come through too, not just leave this big thick line. I think I just don't like that. I don't like it. Okay, this is going to be super duper. Okay, that's just getting a few little cells appearing in it. I'll just give it 1 second or two while I get my my butane torch. Just wipe my fingers off. These gloves are driving me crazy. Again, I do use the big butane torch, but if you have a creme brulee torch, it should work exactly the same way, as long as you do. What I'm doing is going straight up and down, just for a second, and don't go back over the same area too soon because it will catch light. So just working over your canvas, and of course this is pouring medium on this particular one is Elmer's glue all, which always helps me create the jilly clusters, as my granddaughter calls them. Okay, I've got a gorgeous granddaughter, Jade. I've got a gorgeous granddaughter, Molly, and Ruby, and Ava. So I've got grandchildren all over the place now in Australia. I've got grandchildren in New South Wales, I've got grandchildren in Tasmania, and one little one that lives here in Queensland by us. So, oh my goodness, that is just, I can just see from this point, looking at that now, how gorgeous that is going to turn out. I'm just going to give you a close-up of that. What will happen now over the coming hours as you leave it to find its place is you'll find the cells will stretch, and the brown will cause like a ring around the cells, and it makes it kind of look like 3D, as though the cells are standing out of the, you see? It looks like the cells are floating, and it's like a 3D effect, and it's really cool. It's really nice effect. So, but with this, I'm pretty sure, even though the paint is pretty thick, that those cells will stretch, and that's what I like it to do. If you want the cells to stay smaller and stay in place, then do your paint a little thicker. But I like my cells to start to move. They'll create, where you see that brown now, they'll all move into that. then the brown just becomes an outline. But that's really, really nice. That's really nice. Colours, looking down on it now as I am to what it's showing in the camera, colours are so much brighter. Yeah, gorgeous cells, beautiful. See, that was doing the swipe from the top, but because I've got the colours under there, they've turned out really nice. So I'm going to leave that for now. If I decide to do some balloon kissing, I will pop that on the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope that I've helped any of you in your urge to create something beautiful, whether it's for yourself or to sell. Please subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook art page, which is Acrylic Art by Julie Cube. Kind of get to answer people's questions more there, because I have so many questions coming in Facebook and YouTube, you know. It's kind of really hard to keep track of everybody, so sorry if I don't get back to everybody. Please accept my apologies. Have a great day. Thank you.